It's working on it. It'll make it there. There you go. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I cannot believe it's Friday already. The week just blew by as usual. Let's see. Let's get some hellos in. Starla, how are you? I hope you're feeling good, and I hope everything's going better for you. The beautiful Wes Wesley's in the house. You guys got all kinds of great stuff going on. Silver Lining, how are you, my friend? We miss you. Hope to see you soon. Terminator's in the house. How are you? Carrie Davis, welcome. And the greatest name on the internet.
Half bubble of fun.
Is in just seconds before the instigator himself, Apocalypse Garden. Beth Emily, good evening to you. Kelly Ireland, good evening to you. And you guys made it easy on me tonight.
Ta-da.
Normally I have a hard time keeping track of them all. Anyway, there's Big Kid. How are you, Big Kid? I was talking about you just the other day. Talking about your inventions. But anyway, so life's good here. It's hot. I'm sure it's hot for all of you guys. I noticed up here earlier, Half Bubble Off Plum said that evening friends, I hope everyone's staying hydrated. 113 index before noon. Yeah. Thank goodness not here.
What was the heat index today for us? Do you know?
I don't know what the index was, but it was in the low 90s today. Now we're supposed to get coming into this weekend into the 103s, 104s, those kind of things.
The temperature, yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know. It was hot today. I felt like it was hot today.
Yeah, B and I got up early and went out and tried to knock out all the stuff we could before the heat set in. And then we had a plan to come in and work on Pod 4. And, well,
we hauled a little trash.
Yeah, be lollygagged.
Yeah, I talked him into loading up the trash trailer so that we could take a load of trash to the dump tomorrow. So we get to clear out a little bit of space in the Pod 4.
Yeah.
When you got 4 trash bags, big commercial trash bags that you're moving around, it's hard to get to the corners.
Yep. Hey, Unique Prepping. Zach, how are you, my friend? One step closer. How are you? I didn't hear the outcome of all your stuff or a date or anything. I'd love to hear. Jane, good evening to you. Bonnie, welcome in. Indiana Mike, ahoy. How are you, my friend? Long time no see. Hey, Shaw 54, good evening to you. Hey, my buddy Mo's in the house. How are you, Mo?
Hey, y'all.
Hope everything is good with you as well. So we didn't get a lot done in Pod 4. We just got some trash cleaned out and kind of cleaned up. We're going to try to get in there tomorrow over these next 4 or 5 days because the sun's going to set in. And so
it's supposed to be hot.
So we'll be able to work in the shade. And hopefully, at least that's the plan amongst all the other stuff going on, which we'll talk about, obviously tonight. But what do you want to talk about first? What do you got first on your list?
The birthday dinner.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that. We had 29 people show up for the birthday dinner. So we got to spend some time with a few of our friends.
Yep. So the birthday was for a guy named Russ. And Russ is an old timer around here who doesn't have a lot of family. And he's kind of, I don't know if we drug him to the community or he came to I'm not sure how it all worked. But anyway, he's done a lot. He's the guy who built my pond. And so we threw a birthday party for him at a local cafe that you guys hear me talk about all the time. But while we were in that cafe, another interesting thing happened. So one, as you guys know, we have community members who are running for local offices, and one of them was there. And so he got a chance to talk a little bit about, the upcoming things and what's going on and what he would want to do and, some of those kind of things. So that was a little bit interesting. It's hard for me, because I really want to support those things, which I did. I donated the maximum amount I can donate to a campaign here, which is $500.
So you can only donate so much money.
That's it. From an individual person, that's all you can do. And so I want to support it, but my heart tells me that there's no political solution to all this stuff. And it ain't going to make a damn bit of difference. And, every time I've been to a commissioner's meeting or any of them, what they say is, oh, we can't control that. That's controlled by the state. And then the state says, oh, we can't control that. That's controlled by the feds. Mm-hmm. And so it's like this big circle jerk,
and then they say, if you want to change, then get involved.
Yeah. Then, right. You want to change, get involved. And then you try to get involved. And, well, that's a whole nother thing. But, hey, Stan Guthrie, welcome. Oh, pretty cool. So one step closer says closing on finance today. Land closes on August 15th if everything checks out. Excellent.
Oh, wonderful.
Excellent. See, Half Bubble Off Plum says, oh my God, trash. County commissioners here made changes. Everyone We'll get one 95-gallon trash can, added fee to prop taxes, fee for additional cans, etc. Whole county is livid. Yeah, we had kind of an interesting one of those this week that actually didn't end up being, but kind of half bubble off plumb to your point. So the commissioners said that they had the right of way out here on all county roads at 145 feet. So total. So that's 70 feet, in each direction from the center of the road. Because where we live, I own to the center of the road. Now they have the right of way of it, right? And on my deed, it says 40 feet, but now they're saying it's 70, right? Or 72.5, which would be half of the 145. And man, it caused a big uproar. And then the commissioners had to retract their statement because it ain't legal. And so they had to put a newspaper ad in saying, oh, no, we didn't mean that. But yes, it was quite the experience. Starla wants to know how your bananas are.
Bananas have all been taken care of.
Yep. They're all gone.
Mine they've all been consumed.
Yep. Let me see here. What's Zach got to say? Zach says, I'm doing food preservation stream Monday at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then I'm planning a huge stream a week from tomorrow. Hopefully I can have you on tag. Yeah, Zach, I seen your email. I just haven't looked into whether or not I can make it yet or not. But I will. I just need to consult my calendar because unfortunately,
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. So, but it's good. Dorothy Holloway, welcome. Good evening to you as well. So back to the whole community. It was fun. We got another one coming up on the 18th.
Yes.
Now this one's different. So we try to do a quarterly community get together where we all sit down and just eat together and those kind of things. And so we try to get a different homestead to sponsor them. So like I do the winter one every year with the Freeman Festivus. And so the beautiful Louise Wesley, who's in the house tonight, she's got the one coming up here pretty quick.
The summer one.
And so we'll just all get together and do our thing. That'll be on the 18th, and that'll be pretty cool. I'm, definitely looking forward to that. Hey, Can Squatch, welcome.
And this one we're doing a hamburger bar.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. So not like a potluck. Sometimes we do like a potluck. Sometimes this is a come to the restaurant and eat.
Okay. So I really like the gig we have here with that little restaurant. Like I said, they'll open up just for us. It's only us in there, and it's fun. It's loud.
And we found another restaurant too. We found that's open in the evening time here. We keep forgetting about. So another little local. I guess but they're not a bar, right?
They're not. We're not aware if they're how like-minded they are.
No.
One cool thing about 1886 is that they fly the Black American flag out front. And for those of you guys who don't know what that means, the white flag simulates surrender. The black flag says I won't surrender. And so they fly it out there. I like it a lot. Starla wants to know if you preserved any of the bananas.
No,
we fed them all.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of homesteads.
I kept out of the pallet that I kept 7 boxes, and then I gave Tracy some, Yoda some, Gypsy some.
Hey, Storm Rider's in the house. How are you? Long time no see. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, so the bananas are gone. That was such a ridiculous thing. I never thought in a million years that we would have a truckload of 4 pallets, like big pallets. Of bananas show up in Kansas.
We shared our pallet with 5 homesteads.
Okay, that is a ton of bananas. Yep. Hey, Lisa, welcome. And you're not late. We're just getting started. Perfect timing. Storm Rider, I'm glad all is good. Yep. So that was good. Again, community dinner coming up on the 18th. That'll be a lot of fun. And for me, it's really, really neat because my phone's ringing and it's spam.
Lovely. Who didn't turn off their ringer?
I thought I did. Well, apparently you could say, well, you thought wrong.
I don't think you did.
Apparently not.
Yeah. So we'll get together and have a dinner and get to see, I think we're limited to 60 people there. So we'll have
and we'll pack it.
If you're coming, you better RSVP to Lou so that we have a head count.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be super exciting. Get together again. And then the next big events after that around here locally will be the Fall Midwest Preparedness Project, which will be in September. And then the Freeman Festivus, which I don't have scheduled yet, but typically that would be in November. But we'll get there. Hey, Dana, welcome. How are you? So anyways, that's what's going on there. What else? This week I did a video with Graham Town. If you guys remember, let me back up. Lindsay and Graham came down to do a site survey to work on a design for some permaculture stuff here. They also went to the Midwest Preparedness Project. I did a video earlier with Lindsay, but I hadn't done one with Graham yet. And so Graham and I thought what we would talk about is the 12 principles of permaculture, but how it relates to community. And so it was actually, I really enjoyed it. It was a big eye-opening experience for me because he talked about, the individual principles of permaculture and what they mean. And then him and I discussed how that relates to community. And it's so interesting how all of those principles really relate to everyday life in a lot of ways.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, so.
Oh, you should. It's actually, I
would like to. I just haven't.
Yeah. Really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed it. Hey, Midwest Ribeye, welcome. So if you guys haven't watched it, go back and watch it. I thought it was a really good video and a really good interview. Mary Michelle, welcome to you as well.
And it was just this last week.
Yeah, it was just this last week. And then tomorrow, I believe, my podcast with Homesteading Family will go live. It won't be on my channel, but it'll be on their channel. Nice. I think it's tomorrow. Okay. So him and I did about an hour interview. He wanted to know my story and wanted to know a little bit about Grid Down and about kind of some of the stuff we do. And so many of you will already know the story, but it was a good conversation. I really enjoyed it. Okay. And so I think that comes out. I think that comes out tomorrow. Yeah. Silver Lining says it was a good interview. Permaculture, all things working together efficiently.
Can you take the video with Josh and like pin it or something?
Yeah. I can share it onto my channel. I can do those things once it goes live. They've already sent me the link, but the link won't work until it goes live. Yeah. So yeah, I just need to get time to do that. But I really, again, guys, urge you guys to go watch the Graham video because it was good. It was really interesting to try to listen to him and then view it through my eyes of community and how those things interlock. And I think you can really apply it to, a lot of things. Like, one of them is, get a yield. What does that mean? Well, to someone who's in a garden, getting a yield would be, you're getting your tomatoes, right? You're getting your yield. But to me, it is, did I get good use of my energy capital I spent today? Did I get a yield out of it? Right? And as you look at it, as you think about that, those concepts deeper and deeper, it comes into energy management. It comes into, so many of the things that we talk about, every single day on not just on our lives, but, just on around the farm. But I really enjoyed it. I'd never done anything like that before. So it was pretty cool. Hey, Vicky says, howdy from Hurricane Barrel survivors in Texas. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. A little bit about the hurricane, just a tiny bit, but I hope, Vicky, for you, and I know there's many other people that I haven't seen here yet. Jonathan, I know was down there in that area. Eagle Lover, Texas, I know is down in that area. City Greens is down in that area, and so I hope everybody is okay. And I hope everybody's doing okay. I thought about you guys a lot, but I think it also teaches us valuable lessons, right?
When did it hit land?
Oh goodness,
Wednesday.
I'll be right in there somewhere. But there's a lot of stuff going on, Hell, LJC is in the house. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well with you as well. One Step Closer says, I call it resource management, but same idea. Well, yeah, it's 100%, but it's just one step. It was just so interesting to me to listen to him tie permaculture to community. As we went through the discussions, it was just a super cool conversation. Unique says, I pray for everyone every night in this community. Good for you. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people out there, who can use those prayers. So if any of you guys are struggling with anything and you want the prayer warriors to get out there, let us know, we'll make sure we make that happen. Vicky said, I had 20 plus large pine trees go down, but missed our house. Luckily, right? We took a direct hit from the eye wall on Monday. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. It's, the lady who is the HR manager at one of the companies that I frequent, her daughter was down there and had a tree fall over and break part of the house, and she had to rush down there and kind of rescue her. And it seemed to me to be a lot of damage for a Cat 1. I don't know if
I thought it was bigger than that.
Everything I've seen just said it was a Cat 1, but it sure seemed to absolutely, do its thing, but Hey, hacks for the homesteaders in the house. How's the Hacks clan? I've got a picture of, you know, 1/3 of the Hacks clan in my videos tonight.
They're growing.
Yeah. I got a good picture of one of you coming up here in a little bit, but
stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Right. But Amy B says, I made it after a 12-hour shift. I'm thankful for everyone here. You remind me of what normality is. Yeah, isn't it nice to be around people who don't make you feel weird? I mean, I think that's one of the biggest benefits to community is the head medicine.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it can be, yeah.
It can be a lot.
It can be a lot.
It can be a lot.
It can be a headache.
It can. And I think people around you who think like you and maybe not exactly like you, but maybe just have the same end goal. Maybe that's a better way to say that. Because we have a lot of different, you okay?
Yep.
We have a lot of different personalities and a lot of different beliefs, but we're all kind of headed, in that same direction. And for me, that helps out a lot. Helps keep my attitude where it's supposed to be. And, you
don't struggle with that very much.
Yeah, that's not true, babe. The thing is, you don't think I struggle with it.
But you do?
Well, I have my moments.
You throw your hammer?
I've had my hammer throwing moments. I've had those things, but what I'm really good at is getting over it. And
yeah,
you have a superpower of being able to close your eyes and go to sleep in 2 seconds. I have a superpower of being able to embrace the suck and get on with it.
Yeah.
And so I struggle every single day. But what I do is I tell myself in my brain to quit being a Sally. I tell myself it's ridiculous. There's little kids out there in chemotherapy right now. There's people out there with nothing to eat. And here am I bitching and moaning because I can't get the hole dug.
Or whatever.
And so I'm quick to remind myself that I don't have any problems. That
your problem is fine.
It's insignificant. Yeah. It's completely insignificant in the grand scheme. There's people all over the world today dying from bombs. There's little kids being trafficked in sex rings. There's people who are homeless in the street. There's people who have cancer and who are dying. There's people, there's so much chaos all over the place. We have nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
Zero. And if we're complaining, we should be ashamed of ourselves. That's how I feel. Anyway.
So put yourself in a better mood and get on with your day.
Get on with it. Mrs. Hack says, I hope it's not me. I cannot confirm or deny.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, Starla says it was Sunday, early Monday morning landfill in Matagorda, Texas. Concerned friends, hello. How are you, my friend? Let me say Gizmo, welcome in. Make sure I got everybody here. Yep.
Landfall.
Yeah, Hippocrates says, imagine a wagon wheel. We are all on the outer rim of the wheel, but headed towards the same goal in the center, which means, though we are traveling in different directions, the same destination. I like that. I think that's really, really, really well said. It was still a Cat 1 when it went over us with probably 60, 70 mile-an-hour wind gusts. Still lots of people in Houston and surrounding areas without power due to downed trees. Yeah. We only lost power for 24 hours. Yeah, and from what I've been reading, you're the lucky one. Because there's a lot of that, Gregory Kissel, how are you? Says just got back in the house. Just got back to the house to put some diesel fuel in the tractor. Been shredding weeds. Yeah, that's a full-time job almost, isn't it? Yeah, we've had some experience with some, we have had some experience with some new homesteaders up here who are mowing for the first time tall weeds, trying to get it cut back. And I think they've absolutely, learned the value of a tractor with a mower on the back.
A brush hog.
Yeah. Trying to mow waist high weeds in a pasture with a traditional riding lawnmower.
Finish mower.
Yeah. That's pretty tough, at least in my opinion.
Well, it's so hard on the mower too.
Yeah.
It just boggles it down and makes it loud and.
Yeah. Well, should we get on to what's going on around the homestead?
Sure. Get
everybody caught up to what's happening? All right. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Japanese beetles are out in force. And for those of you who don't know, if you go back in my videos, we did a video on building a 5-gallon bucket trap for them. And they work great. We can fill up a 5-gallon bucket, pretty quick. But we're back at it.
We can fill it.
Oh, yes,
They fill it themselves.
Yeah. So that's the top of the bucket trap. That I build, and I'm just holding that thing so it can hold the bait. But then the bucket, just kind of fills up, and then they become, chicken food.
Yeah, just stick a little bit of water in there, and it stops them from flying out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and so it just fills up, And so it's just kind of starting for us, but we want to stay on top of it, obviously.
Yeah.
B will take these buckets when they get about half full or 3/4 of the way full. She'll take them and go dump them out for the chickens, and then the chickens will, tear it up. Hey, Hilltop Home Place, good evening and welcome.
Yeah.
How many did you put out? How many buckets?
3.
3 buckets?
Yeah. I could only find 3 lids.
Okay.
I mean, I had more traps, but I didn't have any.
You just got to cut a hole in it.
I know. It's just a perfect, you know how to cut it just right.
Let me see here. Gizmo says, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Says, hey, I have a question. If you were converting a small building for a sauna, would you insulate it before putting up the cedar? If so, what type of insulation? This is to keep clean in case we lose power. Okay, so if it was a sauna, I would use spray foam. I would be very nervous about bad insulation because if it got wet.
Moisture.
Right, the humidity and the moisture. If you couldn't use spray foam, I think I'd probably use like board foam, those big 4x8 sheets.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And yes, I would put it up before I put the cedar in. And I absolutely would insulate it. Just my opinion. I have a 4430 John Deere with a 7-foot shredder, pulverizes tall weeds. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's how you do it. Hippocrates says closed cell spray foam. Yeah, I agree 100%. Not open. Gizmo says thanks. Oh, totally. Guys, I know a fair amount about building, but I am a long ways from an expert.
And we don't do a lot of spray foaming, so.
Well, we don't do a lot of spray foaming because B doesn't like spray foaming. I would do much more of it if she was a little easier to get along with.
If you didn't have to breathe in the chemicals from it.
Yeah. She's always afraid of it off-gassing, which,
Yeah.
What's going on here? Conservative Friend says, you see the Breitbart story about Springfield, Ohio? Bidos dropped 20,000 Haitians in their town. No, I did not see that. None of it surprises me, though. None of it. All right. So you guys know last week I showed you guys the pictures. We had started the footing for B's barn. So the footing's built, ready to pour. All I'm waiting on.
A massive footing, too.
Yeah, it's 70 feet long and 30 feet wide.
And several boards deep.
Yeah. So what I'll do is we'll get the concrete truck in. We'll pour all of that, and then we'll take all of the boards off for the footings, and then I'll do the pad on the top, and then the barn can go in, which will be pretty exciting. Yeah. You excited?
That's like 2 feet deep, right?
The footings?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends on where. That's true on the short side. On the long side, the side closest to be a nice picture is probably 3 feet deep. Right, because that ground slopes.
How many yards of concrete is that? Do you know?
I don't know if I did the math yet or not. I think I told you 16 yards. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be 16 yards of concrete. I'll need to go back and measure it and check it out again. But so pretty simple work, guys. Footings are easy. You're basically just building a box, and then you're filling that box with a grid of rebar or 2, and then you're just filling it with concrete. It's very easy to do. The hardest part's just getting it square the whole way.
Yeah.
Which, if you know the law of 3, 4, 5, that's not hard either.
Well, and then level too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, yeah, Gregory, we'll be down below the frost line pretty okay. I mean, the frost line here is about 30 inches. As I backfill that up, it'll be pretty close. It's what's gonna go on top of it is a pretty light metal barn, but.
And then with this, we're going to do 3 10-foot pours on top.
I'm going to do 3 10-foot pours. Now the pros would do 1 big pour, but I am not a pro. I'm not. I can't.
How do they screed it?
Well, they got big machines, and they've been doing it a long time.
That's not 30 feet across, though, right?
No. So what they do is they drive a pin down in the center with that. Remember those little blue U-shaped?
Yes.
And they put a bar in there so they can screed, and they get it close. They pull it off and pour the next one. But they're pros. I'm not a pro. So what I'm going to be doing is doing 3 10-foot pours and just pinning them all together. You see, hey, Tamber, how are you? Welcome. Did I get everybody? I think so. Yeah, I think I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry. So that's been going on. Let me see here. B. I thought I was going to go to the garden next. So here's the inside of the community building. So if you guys look at that framed room in that back corner, that's a bathroom and a pantry. The big open area will actually be where all the tables are and all that for the community. And if you look On the other side, you'll see there's just a big header across the top and a couple poles. Those poles are removable and will be when I'm done. That'll be the kitchen back in there. And so it's all framed. It's ready to go. All I got to do is boom the roof. And we're working on trying to get that done. This will be the other side, and this will be a bathroom and a utility room back in that corner. But from the outside, you can see the building's pretty much up.
So this is where the doors go.
Yep. You might notice, you might be thinking to yourself, man, that building's got no windows.
No.
Why is there no windows in your building?
Because we don't want to look out.
Yeah. And they don't want to be looking in. No, it's just because I don't exactly know which windows I'm going to use yet. I don't know how many I'm going to have. Now, we have another homesteader who's donated some pretty new windows out of a building. And I've got a list of those, but I'm just not totally sure yet. So I'll go back in and I'll cut in the windows based upon what I find at that homestead, also at auctions and those kind of things. So that's why that is. If you guys remember, that big footing out in the front of the building is going to house some big hedge posts that are going to hold up the front of that roof, because that roof overhangs all the way to the front of that other foundation. So we can put picnic tables and we can put those kind of things. The other thing I hope you notice in this is I got the drainage done for around the back side of the building, and you can see it in the bottom left-hand corner of the picture, the gravel and that black pipe coming out. So we got all the drainage done all the way around.
Okay.
Which is good. And so now I've just got to, kind of backfill it. Let me see here. Ed says, I love the wagon wheel analogy. Ed, how are you, by the way? Says, also means that when you're just starting at the edge, it feels like you're barely hanging on. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that applies to a lot of people. I know a lot of people at the very beginning of this journey, and I know what it was like to go through it, but I also know how worth it is to go through it. And, but I know it can absolutely test you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. One step closer says secret compound. No, just a place to have a party. I mean, just for,
An event center.
Yeah. An event center. It's funny, Beast thinking of it all in accounting terms. Right. So here's it kind of from the other side. If you guys, I'm going to try to point out a couple things to you guys, just see if you guys can see it. The first thing is, if you look in the bottom right corner, you'll see that little blue pipe coming out of the dirt. See that right there? So that's a 1.5 inch PEX pipe that I'm going to run all the way to the pond. We're going to have a pump house down there. So at any time I can pump, if I choose to, I can pump water from the pond into the cistern of the community building. Right? Because it's just another source of water. Again, I'm hoping the rainwater keeps up with it. I have a 1,500 gallon cistern for this building, but if it doesn't, I will have the ability to pump it out. The blue roll of plumbing you see right there is what was left over after I ran it.
So you used that big one. That was that giant one.
That's right.
Was
that I
that
bought
2
for
inches?
It's 1.5 inch. I bought a big roll of it at an auction for $2. And as actually what was neat is I got all the drain tile for this project and all of that blue pipe I just showed you there on a pallet at the auction for nothing. And it's been sitting back in a pile for a while, and I got to kind of use it all up, which I thought was pretty exciting.
Hey, every little bit helps when you're trying to like nickel and dime a building together.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Yeah, I think I had one more. Oh yeah, this just showed you the drainage better. So there's a ditch in there with a pipe in it, covered in clean gravel, and then I'll backfill it so that any water that gets in behind the building back there, I can.
Did you use all that gravel?
I didn't use hardly any of it.
Oh, really?
There's
so you have a lot
huge
more
pile down there.
And you have rock behind the building. Mm-hmm. You have the pipe behind the building.
It's all done. All the drainage is done.
Is there an angle to that?
Well, yeah.
Like a downslope?
Of course there is.
How do you do that if the back of the building is level?
I don't understand the question.
So if it's level across the back and then it slopes away from.
It's not level across the back.
How do you have it?
It's
angled to one side?
It's domed. So let me go back to the picture. I'll show you. I don't have the picture in here. Anyway, the middle, when you get right about the middle of the building is the highest, and it kind of domes away. So it will run to two sides and then out.
You did that on purpose?
Of course I did that on purpose.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I just know we've had issues with drainage in the past. So
yeah, and I hope I'm getting better with those issues as time goes on. Right, that you learn more and more, kind of as you go along. But we talk about gardens.
Sure.
Let me finish community building. Hey, real quick, just so everybody knows, I'm going to try to next week boom the roof. I'm kind of waiting on a piece of equipment to get here. assuming that I get it, we'll boom it and we'll get the
You're
roof
going to
on.
boom it, put the trusses up, and put the plywood on it.
Yeah, so that's putting all the trusses up and putting the plywood on. I tried to talk B into let me do in purlins instead of plywood, but she kind of kiboshed that.
Yeah, we had to make a decision if we were going to use we had to make a decision. We had to make a decision if we were going to use the green metal that we have already and piece it together. There are a couple of different shades of green, or if we were going to go ahead and purchase all one color brown roofing material and purlins so that we could get the roof in and waterproof the building. So I just don't see a purpose in going through all of this and then just half-assing the roof with the wind and you want to put the solar system up on top and the weight and then people walking on it. And then, I don't know, you get 4 300-pound guys on the roof and then watch out for the step on the purlins.
Hypocrisy want to know why you didn't use blue roofing.
Right.
To keep us safe from the lasers.
I know.
Because nobody wants to come to Kansas.
To keep away from the forest fires.
Well, to finish her point, I went and ordered the metal for the roof in brown. It'll match my house.
And plywood or OSB instead of purlins.
Yep. So I tried to get her to let me do purlins because I could save about $1,000.
Yeah.
In the construction cost if I used purlins instead of plywood, but she didn't seem to like that very well. And I don't know if you guys know this about Bee, but she gets her mindset on something. It's pretty hard to move her. Well,
I just don't think that getting all this done and then having a guy fall through the roof is a good idea.
You're not going to fall through the roof with purlins?
Maybe. When you got the weight of the solar and then the weight of the snow and then the weight of the dude and then I don't know.
Yeah, Data Green also says, blue roofing fires miss that color.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should all be prepping by storing some 5-gallon buckets of blue paint.
Was blue an option?
Well, of course, every color is an option.
I didn't know that they have every color.
Just about. You can get lots and lots and lots of stuff. Hey, Nitos is in the house. Says, hi, all. Just got my computer put back together. How are you? How are you? How are you? All right. You want to talk about garden now?
Sure.
Okay. So I was out wandering around tonight before coming up here to the live.
Yeah.
And we've planted trees all over.
Wandering around like Biden.
Yeah.
Where do I go? Where do I go?
Yeah. I was wandering around like Biden. And I found a tree that is in bad shape. Look at this pear tree. Look at that.
What is wrong with it?
It's been attacked. Someone's not loving it. Someone's not caring for it. I wonder who that would be.
It looks green.
Look at it. It is chewed up, super chewed up.
I bet that's Japanese beetle damage.
I bet it is too. Have to be able to handle Santa's weight on the roof. Says one step closer.
And all them reindeers.
What a mess. So somebody needs to get their butt up there and deal with this issue.
I put Japanese beetle traps out, so I don't know what else you want me to do. I mean, I can't go like.
Can't you get up there with your chopsticks?
Catch all these while they're flying past me.
Yeah, that's what you do in the garden. You pick worms and shit off the tomato plants.
Yeah, there's a lot more of those.
Amy B says spray the fruit trees with kaolin clay.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it, Amy. Tell us more. Tell us more. Your pear tree looks better than mine right now. Well, we have a bunch of pear trees, and this is the only one that looks like this. The other ones look fabulous. This one got overlooked or something. Can you spray neem oil or clay? Amy B says to spray clay.
I have neem oil. Oh, I hate the smell of that.
What?
The neem oil.
What?
It just smells so bad.
Like your face wash?
What's wrong with my face wash? What's wrong with you?
It smells horrible.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
It smells like thieves.
Yeah, you guys got to see her reading face.
What does your face wash smell like?
I don't use face wash. I use
bar soap.
I use soap.
Lie.
Caterpillar damage, spray with BT, Bacillus thuringiensis if caterpillars. I don't think it's caterpillars because I didn't see any caterpillar stuff on it. I mean, I didn't see any
caterpillar stuff.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, like the
poo-poo?
cocoons and the, and the
Poo-poo.
no, I didn't look for poo-poo. Protects from sunburn and insects. Mix about 3 cups of powdered clay in a gallon sprayer. Oops, let me see. This pear tree is struggling with something. That is why the bugs are attracted to it. Yeah, because none of the other ones are. Yep, have to reapply after the rain. And Mrs. Hack say we spray ours with dish soap and water. Hey, last warning. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. What kind of bugs is eating the tree? Have you found them? So I didn't. I just noticed it about 30 minutes before the live and took a picture. And I just added it in so that I could show Bee her tree.
And that's up there?
Yeah. It's up there on your swells and all that
orchard?
stuff. Yep. Let me see here. Neem oil will work for other insects. Strengthen your plants overall by improving your soil. We've spent a lot of time, Amy B, trying to improve our soil. And apparently for that particular spot, it's not working. But what's interesting is it's the only one. And it's in a whole orchard of fruit trees, but it's the only one. So
I wonder if there's something else planted with it or something happened to it. Or
yeah, Vicky Pullen says need oil works for other insects, and then corrects it by saying need oil. She means neem oil.
Neem.
Isn't it? Or maybe there's a need oil I'm not aware of.
No, she means neem.
Yeah, it is deficient in something. Yeah, can on the clay could definitely be a deterrent, says Silver Lining. And Vicky Pullen says neem. Damn autocorrect. Yeah, when you said need, I read it as neem, but when you said it twice, I thought it was funny, so I had to, had to pick a little bit. Anyway, what else are you doing right now?
Elderberries.
Yep. So we have elderberries coming out our ears. They are absolutely everywhere.
There's a few elderberries out there.
Well, there was a lot. I went up and walked around tonight, and you got many. I told B, I was like, hey, let's do some waffles. Is that what I said?
Yes. But I think that we should do syrup for like medicine, wintertime.
Yeah, she don't want to use any of them for waffle syrup.
Well, let me see how many I get, and I can make you a waffle.
Lisa says, use that pear as a trap. The bugs will go to that tree and leave the others alone. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Poultry for Life, how are you? Says, oh, the elderberries look great. Oh, yeah, look at that. And she has so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many elderberry trees you got? I mean, a bunch.
There's a few.
Yeah. So.
And you can see, like, right underneath it, all the green ones.
All the green ones.
That haven't even started. Yeah.
And look how beautiful those plants look. One step closer says, yum, elderberry mead.
Mm.
Yeah, she wants to make cough syrup. Like, what fun is that?
It tastes good.
It tastes better on a waffle.
Well, I mean, if you're sick, I don't want you, it's medicine, has good medicinal properties in it.
Yeah, Silver Lining says, those are beautiful. Harvested a few yesterday, but my birds are faster than me. We really haven't had a problem with the birds.
Oh, you better knock on wood. Birds, no damage.
Yeah. I know, right?
We've gotten pretty good.
Yep. You got all kinds of stuff. Yep, look at phlox is blooming.
So tall. In between 3 elderberry trees there.
Yeah, Skane's girl is, standing up for it and says, lots of fun to not be coughing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you're sick and you need a little bit of medicine, you have it right there.
Mm. Now, what else you got going on in your garden? You haven't seen any of these pictures. So this is, B has got trying to get these food forests growing in, and these are just a couple years old. And some of them are doing good, but if you look, babe, that right there is that pear tree. See how the top, right in the middle of the picture, right in the middle of the picture, you can see how the top is brown. The bottom is big and vibrant and green, but the top is brown, and it's just infested with something. Gizmo wants to know if you net your elderberry. We do not. Never had the need to.
That one is right around the elderberries. I wonder if something happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Gregory says syrup for biscuits. Yeah, I was thinking syrup for waffles, but biscuits, that'd be good too. Yeah, you made me go check on Pete the Peach. Something is finding mine appetizing as well. Yeah, it's just that one tree. But what's weird is there's a lot of trees in this whole area, and some are have cages on them, some don't, blah, blah, blah. But you guys can see the community building in the background. See the community building all the way down there?
Oh, yeah, the wood.
Yep, you can see it.
And then the gravel pile and the septic.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Cistern.
Yep, how cool is that? Yeah, so it's everything up there is growing good. I mean, you've got everything in there is doing well except that top of that one tree.
That is so weird.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, we had cow Camus got caught up into the duck duplex today. Yep. He found his way in there, and he's so little that he can fit in a lot of places the other cows can't.
Yeah.
And so I had to, when I was coming back in to come up here and get ready for the live, I told B, I said, "Hey, Camus caught up in the duck duplex."
Yeah, I went up there. The door was open, so he came right out, but.
Oh, Amy B says, overnight something ate my first year of elderberry flower and new berries. Isn't that so frustrating when you grow and you're working so hard and wildlife just comes and takes it? But I was talking to Callie Blackwell today. We were out on the porch, and she was talking about raccoons being up on their property. And I said, if you don't have pests, you don't have an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you got to kind of count on some of those things.
I had a raccoon eating the new grapes, and I heard a commotion and went up there. Rosie had gotten the dog had gotten the raccoon off of the grapes, and well,
Rosie 1, raccoon 0.
Yes.
I don't know why she doesn't want to say it. So the livestock guardian dog killed the raccoon that was eating the grapes.
Yes, and left it in the road. The raccoon.
Christine says milky spores for Japanese beetles. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that
milky
is?
Spores?
I don't know what that is. Yep, I don't know what that is. Amy B says, shot 2 raccoons this morning. Yeah, one got eaten by our dog, but that was about it.
Yeah. Well, it didn't get eaten.
Not eaten.
It's still up there.
It's dead.
Yeah.
He killed it.
Yes.
She killed it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. You want to talk about your garden? The other stuff you got going on?
You have a picture?
I do. Look at that. There's some of your garden, right?
Yeah, there's the corn.
Yep. You guys see that big empty patch right there? It's just that square. There used to be a shipping container there that we were housing for another
rectangle.
homestead. Yeah, that big rectangle. Yeah. And they came and got it and moved it to their new property. And it's so weird because
it's open.
I'm just used to seeing it
and
there.
And then there's our well there. We are digging up to fix. We got the parts. We were waiting on a brass fitting to get the finish the well.
Yeah.
Because since we elevated we raised it up with the risers, we have to raise up the pump parts, the lids, the wires,
because we put a 3-foot riser on it, we have to extend the length of the wire.
Extend it.
She was close though. Deer love to prune my elderberries. At first it made me angry, but the next year I had more blooms, hence berries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. LJC said, would a pig eat a dead raccoon? A pig will eat anything. Well, depends on how hungry.
Well, yeah, and I mean the pigs eat dead humans, so.
Yeah, Pockety says wolves go for the weakest deer, bugs go for the weakest planting tree. Yeah, and that tree has been beautiful its whole life, but hey, G. Johns, how are you?
I wonder what's wrong with it.
The Japanese beetle grubs each the spores in the dirt. Grubs explode from the spores and infect other grubs. It's great. Interesting. The Japanese beetle grubs eat the spores.
Eat the spore in the dirt.
Grubs explode from the spores and infect other grubs. It's great. Oh, each is supposed to be eat. Okay, so the Japanese beetle grubs eat the spores in the dirt. The grubs explode from the spores and infect other grubs. It's great.
So you have to put the spores in the dirt in the first place.
Got it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, spring, all my trees looked beautiful and in bloom. Then the ants started, then was infested with aphids. Aphids lost all the blooms. That's always such a hard thing, when you live this life, like you guys all live too, that you count on it, and you count on all this food, and you kind of almost have to go into it thinking that 30% of your crop you're not going to get every year, right?
That's awful.
Well, but that's interesting. Jane says put surgical caps over your elderberries. I have a connection for surgical caps. All right, next picture. See, those are your tomatoes. They're not super tall yet. This year we decided to try something. We're going to grow tomatoes over an arch and just kind of see how it works out.
Yep, and there's borage right there. See that plant? It's the flowers on that are so pretty.
That's borage.
Mm-hmm.
In the interest of science, you have to make at least one batch of elderberry waffles. Thank you, Ed. See? You have, all the girls in there talking about cough, cough, cough.
And you just want to eat. I just want some syrup.
Men are simple creatures.
I just want to eat.
Love us, feed us, respect us, and don't henpeck us. If you do those things, men are happy. Sorry. Hypocrisy says milky spore grubs. Got it. Yep, I didn't understand. Yeah, caps on Amazon are cheap. Yeah, for sure. Let me see what else. I have another one in here. We get into the headlines. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's the much anticipated picture of hacks from the homestead and others at the farm this week. So you want to tell them
helping us.
Yeah, and us helping them at the same time.
Yep.
So we moved some turkeys, left our farm, headed for the Hacks farm.
Yep.
And we did that last year too. And so it's very common inside our community that we are, I don't want to say trading because it's not really trading. It's, hey, I've got some extra, the extra go here, and then it comes back the same way. Hey, I've got some extra. Or I'll give you an example. There was a day my skid loader broke down and the local guy who I normally have working on it couldn't get to it.
Yep.
And so I called Hacks, which is a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes from here. Called him and said, hey, can you please come help me? I'm stuck. And I was in the road. So, I mean, it was like, it had to get moved. And he come down and helped me, and there was no expectations. It's just part of it. And so we do a lot of that back and forth. Hey, I have excess this. Tonight I put out a post. I have a 36-inch enclosed shower that needs a home. And so I put a text message out into our, community text message chat, and someone said, oh yeah, I could totally use that. And so there's a lot of that stuff going on. So anyways, what you're going to see in this picture is some turkeys finding a new home. Yep. And so the famous people you see in that is Hacks, for the homestead, Callie Blackwell in the center, and Jess from American Roots on the other end, hauling some turkeys.
Yeah, there were 4 black ones and I think 7 slate. So I think there were 11 total that went to the Hacks farm.
Yep. Yeah, and so it was fun. I was actually quite a ways away when this was going on, and I seen them pushing this cart with these turkeys. And
how heavy was that?
I don't know. I was running to try to get a picture before it was all disappeared.
And that wagon has flat tires. I'm so sorry, ladies. I don't know where I was, but
yeah, you noticed that the work's to be done and there's no bee. Right?
I was
where's B? Anybody asking where's B? Yeah, you were clearly on vacation.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Gizmo said turkey for elderberry syrup. We've actually traded turkeys for all kinds of things. Last year we traded a bunch away, and they raised them. And then when the butcher time come, we got some of it back, and we ate it through the year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. She actually made us lunch meat. She made turkey lunch meat with it. Yeah,
super, super cool. Just finished putting together a big old pot of spaghetti. I love that. Tim Riley, how are you? Said should have loaded that cage in the bucket of the new tractor. Well,
Tim,
we could have done that, Tim. However,
I put 3 hours on my tractor this week, so she was on vacation too.
Yeah. In order to put it in the tractor, B would have to be around, Tim. And I hope you notice in all of this, there is no B. She's lollygagging somewhere, right? On vacation.
I was probably doing something else. Yeah.
Mrs. Hack's trying to stick up for her. She says she was working in the chicken coop.
Okay.
Was you cleaning the chicken coop?
I was doing something.
Oh.
I mean, I remember I was helping catch
She
them.
was standing in the chicken coop, looking out the window with an iced tea in her hand, watching all these poor ladies work. Is my bet.
No, I thought that I had 9 of those silver turkeys, is what it was, and I was looking for the other ones because I only found 7.
Amy B says you can totally hide grated squash in the meat spaghetti sauce.
Yes. Yes.
Gregory says, do you all get together and process the birds? Yeah, actually, I think this year we're all going to Hacks, right? Is that right?
She is going to have a butcher day in September.
September, yeah. And then we'll all take a whole bunch up there and just try to get through the whole butchering and do it in stations and all of that stuff. But I think
chickens, turkeys.
August 16th, is that what you said?
No, I thought she said September.
I don't remember.
She hasn't said a date. She said September, I thought.
Yeah, Mrs. Hack says, there you go. Says we got 6 silver and 4 black.
Oh, 6 silver.
Yeah, Mrs. Hack said, I love seeing your cute face. Yep, and you guys will see each other soon.
6.
Mrs. Hacks, when's the processing day? I don't remember when you told us. B don't remember either.
So I'm missing 3. I thought that there were 9. I don't know what happened.
Just all of a sudden gone. Yeah, I think this is a great picture. I really like the expression on Jess's face over there.
She's probably like, help, push it down. She's probably like, put the camera down and help me.
Yeah. I come running with my phone. Oh, there you go. So Gregory, the September 22nd is our butcher day. And we'll have some turkeys and a lot of chickens, right? That's what we'll have.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But anyway, I think it's exciting. And
we sure got to figure out if we want to do whole birds or if we want to piece them out and do breasts and wings and thighs.
None of my concern. You'll figure all that out.
Yeah. It uses less freezer room if you piece it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it all out. One thing I've learned over the years of running businesses and also now on the farm is I don't want to be in charge of everything.
Stay in your lane.
I don't want to be in charge of it. I've got plenty of my own stuff to be in charge of.
Yeah.
You tell me what has to happen and I'll make sure that you have the resources you need or that you have the space that you need or whatever, right?
Right.
But I don't really want to be involved other than tell me what to do. I mean, so whatever that is.
Right.
And I would really encourage you wives out there and you husbands out there to adopt that philosophy is you don't have to be in charge of everything. Divide that stuff up and there's days, and you guys know I've talked about this before, but when we're working, like let's say in the garden, B's in charge. She just tells me what to do. I don't really want to think about it. I don't want to have to manage it. I don't need to know where things go. And the truth is, I don't care. Just tell her, hey, I need dirt moved. Okay, great. Where do you need it? Which dirt you need and where do you need it? I'll go take care of it. I don't want to think, through that. Silver Liney says, hope I can be there to help. Hopefully I'll be better at it this time. I think you and B did great last time.
I thought we did a good job too.
Yeah, other than the down comfort you left me.
I was going to say that the feathers were probably the thing I learned the most about that whole experience.
I could write a book, an absolute book on that experience. What are you looking at me like that for?
You didn't really partake in that experience.
Oh, I partaked in it.
What did you partake in?
I had to walk out my back door and see the pile of feathers for a month because of how you guys chose to do that. But Leo says, yes, Tag. That's how hubby and I do it. Guys, I'm telling you, it works so good. Like if we're built like the community building, if B's helping me on the community building, I'm in charge. She's like, just tell me what to do. And I'm like, all right, so go do this. And she'll go do it. But then the other side's also true, right?
Yeah.
And there's things that we're doing that she's in charge of. And it's really just about being efficient because you can't manage 10,000 things. It's just too much. And so if she takes on whatever role she takes on and then I just become the laborer, for me, that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. I
actually like it. I don't have to think, I don't have to do anything mentally very hard. I just got to pick this pile of dirt up and move this pile of dirt over here, which I like. Or I want a fence from that point to that point. Great. Where do I want a gate right here. Okay. We can do it, right? The guys here would kill the birds, then the women here would do the rest. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much there's just an assembly line. And up there, I think Darren kills them, right?
Oh,
how
not
does it work
necessarily.
Or just whoever's in that
Yeah,
station?
because Leah was there
Okay.
doing the same thing.
Okay.
because you have to carry them from one station over there and then put them in, do the deed, sit there for a few.
The Silver Lining says, read Joe Salatin about the right way to cut.
Come on now, Silver Lining.
Maybe I talk to him pretty regularly. Maybe I'll ask him. See what he says.
Just don't tell him about my story.
Had a surprise visit from our friends with their grandson. We are late. Hey, you guys are right on time. Yeah, life with Mike and Janet in the house. We were showing pictures earlier. You'll have to go back into the live of the, where the community building is and all the stuff that's growing. And it's a zoo, but the good news is it is our zoo, right? And we're winning in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Of course we are.
Yep.
We got all kinds of people around us who we like to be around, and they're leveling up, and we're leveling up, and
who's leveling up? Why don't you talk about that?
We're leveling up.
How are we leveling up?
Because we have all kinds of people around us who are leveling up.
Yeah. And how are they leveling up?
Because they're bettering themselves every day. Winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you getting examples, or are you just going to
we've got
talk like a lawyer?
We've got one. We've got some folks who closed on their land. We've got some folks who settled on a contract for their land. We've got some folks who are working on water systems. We've got folks who are working on animals, brand new animals for the first time. And
yeah, you guys, there's a new homestead here who just got here. And
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. And then
we have animals.
Yeah, well, we had a deal come up where a lady was moving. Not really a community member, but someone who kind of did that stuff, who was moving to Canada and had like 65 chickens and handfuls of turkeys and a pig and blah 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 that they wanted to give away to someone in the community. And so this poor family got all of them after just getting here, had no fences, had nothing. They had to scramble.
They got here. They got fencing. They got infrastructure put up. They got brand new animals.
Yep.
They're like, hey, we don't have enough to do. We'd like some more mouths to feed.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what a blessing though for, you're like, I want a farm. I want a homestead. I want land. I want a house. I want animals. And then it's like land, animals, or land, house, animals.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. And that was pretty exciting. Poultry for Life says, same here. We discuss in the AM, then we move forward, checking in if we need something. Yep. I think that process works so good. Conserve Friend says, tough gardening season here. 90s and no rain in June. Plants struggling. Second seedlings, baby bunnies fit through the fence and wipe them out. Yeah. See here, definitely not blowing them up. I'm talking about me. B, your cut was right. Wish you had a hard time cutting them. Tell me the story, because
what are we talking about again?
Silver Lining says she's talking about the right way to cut. Remember, she said, look at Joe Salatin's the right way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, definitely not blowing them up.
I thought she was talking about the chicken, how I cut the chicken's throat and he jumped out of the
cone and it's still alive to this day.
Yeah, he jumped out of the cone and ran around the farm.
Yeah, so to say B, your cut was right, I would argue
that it was.
I got to coach a chicken butcher class day last month. I was so excited that I have learned such cool skills from the community of self-sufficiency. Amen. Hey, Rhonda, welcome. Good evening to you. Let me see here. How big of place did they get? 80 acres. So, Gregory, they've got 80 acres of blank canvas. And,
we got one people that have 80. We got one.
Well, that they were talking about. We were talking about the ones that just came in.
We got one that got 20.1 or something.
20.4. I know, I did the contract.
And then 30.4, 34.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of them winning, Polaroid and Amazon. By the way, you have a package.
Yeah, it's like falling out of the box. I can't lift it.
Polaroid and Amazon are getting ready to pour footings for their new barn house that's going up. That's really exciting. Callie and them grew their water thing, coming up here pretty quick. I know that Mossy Oak Parrot and Redneck down there, they're gaining ground down there by getting more and more power, and now trying to get air conditioning in, and that's a big step, kind of in the right direction. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. One Step Closer said it had a big squash bug plague this year. I have figured out exactly 100% how to stop that.
Get a squash plant.
Don't plant squash. That's all I got to do. And you won't.
I have butternut squash that will sustain that. Did anybody plant any of those butternut squash seeds that I sent out? Mm-hmm. I'd like to see.
I can slit and eviscerate. Not so good at cutting up into proper pieces part while barbecuing chicken here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Skane said I like to do mine in the proper order. I think everybody would, right? Let's see here. Nito says, careful moving animals across straight line. John at Galt's Landing in Florida was fined for chickens from South Carolina. Really? I didn't know that.
Moving them across state lines. You gotta be kidding me.
Anita's, I'll have to ask.
Fined.
Yeah, Jim Gale down there at Galt's Landing, I talk to 3 or 4 times a week. I'll ask him about that because I did not see that. No rain here in South Central Virginia for 9 solid weeks, and now 5 or so inches in a week. Talk about extremes. Yeah, One Step Closer says, wow, big spread. Yeah, big spread. My water pump pushing water over 2,000 feet and 175 in elevation got a workout. Oh, I bet. Oh, my goodness. Terminator says, I'm back. My Canadian chat is done. Yeah, well, she's built a whole community up there in Canada. And so they do their video Friday nights while we're on our live. That's what she's referring to. But
she's from Ontario. Is that right?
Hey, look at that. There's the flute man himself.
Hello.
Yep, in from LA or Hollywood or wherever he's out, blowing the flute. Glad you could take time, Mario, to visit with us tonight, Mr. Flute Man. Hey, well, Marok's in the house. How are you? Says, hey, all. Wow, time got away from me. Skane's girl says, I may have to start the Chicken Underground Railroad. Well, should we get some news?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some news we got going on today. Hey, I told you guys earlier, I wanted to talk a little bit about the hurricane, not so much in the hurricane itself, although, prayers out to all of those out there inside our community and outside of our community, who are suffering, because of all of it. But guys, I've been telling you, find a way to be energy independent, whether it's a small little panel that'll charge cell phones, whatever it is. I mean, think about those 2 million people that were without power, but the, 1 in 30 homes that have just a small little panel to charge their phone, and how much difference that would make. Or, had just enough that they could turn the news on.
Yeah.
Right. Or keep a refrigerator going.
Yeah.
None of those take gigantic amounts of power. And so, hey, RN, how are you? But I would absolutely, you guys work on becoming energy independent. I think it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing all the time. Even if you can't get all the way independent, just a little thing, do something. There's all kinds of things out there. Just Google it. You'll find little systems, big systems, all kinds of things. But again, I would encourage all you guys to send prayers to all those people down there in Texas who are without power, because I don't know how many of you have been to Texas, but I have been to Texas, and this time of year in Texas and no power. Yeah, that would be, it'd almost be unhealthy, right? In a lot of ways, right? Especially getting to the young and the elderly. Yeah. Oh, cool. Hippocrates said, Eagle Lover said she got power today. Excellent. We were thinking about her. I have not seen her tonight on the live, but I know, but also there's City Greens.
How long were they out?
I don't know. I mean, if they're just getting power now, so tonight's Friday night, it hit Monday, right? That's a week, right? See here, Gypsy says, I went through 4 states with all my animals. Don't tell anyone. You rebel. Is that what all the Amazon boxes are? Is he buying more animals?
Animals from Amazon?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
This is the ones you add water and they grow.
Something.
It's like the sea turtles.
Yeah. Polaroid and Amazon are at it again. There's a huge old box out there, huh?
Yes.
with pieces and parts sticking out the sides.
Yes, stuff sticking out of it, metal. And
Yep,
it does not look
it's
light.
Juicy, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon.
Juicy Gypsy.
All right.
There's got to be another one in there.
Let me see here. My stepdaughter went to her mom's because she is still without power. Yeah. We have our critical circuits on solar, so had refrigerator and freezers covered, 2 buildings with mini splits for cooling rooms as well. See, that's well done.
Yeah.
Right? That is absolutely well done. Absolutely well done. What would you say? Amazon animals? Yeah. Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, Gregory says a wheat in Texas heat is not good. Yeah. Oh my goodness, she said, I can't believe you forgot King on Juicy's name. It's King,
yes.
Juicy, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon.
I thought that was something missing.
Yeah, yeah.
King,
Juicy, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon. Right?
Amazon. I don't know if all of those were him. I think that she plays a half a role in Amazon.
I don't know if she plays the whole role in Amazon. What I can tell you is the package has King, Hefty, Lefty, Juicy, Gypsy, Amazon. It says it, and every box has Amazon on it. So
yeah,
makes Amazon even make more sense, right? You see here, the stories of what is happening or not happening in Houston and surrounding areas aren't being told. It's really sad. Yeah, I feel bad for those people. I think the flute man swiped my American Roots cup. Not surprising, not surprising. Let me see here. Karen says, I made it. Not till halftime, but I made it. Yep, you made it.
Halftime.
All right, what else we got going on? You guys know COVID is very close to my heart. And so I'm always reading for the new data that's coming out, and there's a lot of stuff that's coming out today. So this was an article came out of Slay, which said that the data shows that children who received the shots are now 4,423% or 45 times more likely to die of any cause than unvaccinated children. Additionally, the vaxxed children are 137 times more likely to die of COVID-19 than those who didn't receive the mRNA injection. The stunning figures were revealed in a recently published ONS data regarding deaths by vaccination status in England. And so this was a study that was done in England recently. Make sure I got everybody here. Yep. Vicky says the storm missed City Greens and Jean Manquet. Yeah, that's right. When they took a turn north towards us, but their daughter is in Houston area and was still without power. All right. Well, thoughts to City Greens and Jean Manquet. Hey, and Zeg's in the house. What's up, bud? How are you? Let me see here. Texted Eagle Lover today. She did get power and was going to start cleanup now. Yeah, crazy. Alarming official government statistics reveal that children who received the COVID mRNA shots are at a massively elevated risk of dying. The shocking figures were revealed in a UK government report, which quietly confirmed that the COVID injections have been killing children at an unprecedented rate. Again, this is evil. I think Gregory said it absolutely best when he said, evil bastards. An explosive bombshell report on the entire childhood vaccine schedule. It turns out that the shots forced upon children to attend school will have negligible or non-existent benefits, but documented side effects. This is true for so many of the most widely used vaccines, to include the MMR, DPT, flu, and tetanus shots. This information came to light from the comprehensive report written by a Midwestern doctor. The author highlights that following the introduction of bacterial childhood vaccination, not only did the targeted infections become more widespread, but other bacterial infections also emerged and evolved into a more dangerous strains. This new reality prompted the creation of more vaccines, which in turn has accelerated this downward spiral and boosted the big pharma's profits. Dr. Pierre Coy, an ICU specialist who has risen to prominence after the COVID debacle, writes, before COVID, I didn't think there were serious issues with the childhood vaccines, but now, like many, I've come to question that assumption. I thought COVID was held closer to your hindside. Yeah. Wow, this just hurts my heart. Them poor babies and the misguided parents. Yeah, well, I mean, we've raised our whole lives to trust them.
Yeah.
I mean, and so you kind of can't blame them a little bit. I mean, obviously you got to think for yourself, but yeah, pretty harsh. I agree. But I thought since we were on that, I would actually take a look at some of those things. So this is an autism study on in 1983, the average child received 10 vaccines and the autism rates were 1 in 10,000. In 2013, the regimen to get into school was 32 vaccines, and then it was 1 in 88. In 2018, it was 74, which was then 1 in 36. And in 2024, it takes 90 vaccines, and the autism rate is 1 in 32. And so at this rate, 1 in 2 boys will be diagnosed with autism by 2030.
1 in 2.
If it continues down that path. But you guys want to hear some absolutely cool news. So a Tennessee woman fired for refusing to her employer's COVID-19 vaccine mandate sues, goes to court, and wins $700,000.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. So this is the first of many. I am super, super, super excited about this because this kind of opens the door. You guys know how courtrooms, politicians, legislators, all of those, they kind of lean back on precedents, right? That they're always looking back or say, okay, was there precedents for this? And as more and more of these come out, I think you're going to see more and more of these, and I'm super excited about that.
Wow.
Additional news says an Australian judge who dismissed COVID vaccine lawsuit concealed she had been paid by Pfizer. So an Australian judge who dismissed a lawsuit against Pfizer, which alleged that the company knowingly violated the laws regarding genetically modified organism with its COVID mRNA vaccine, failed to disclose that she had been on Pfizer's legal payroll.
Of course.
Right? See here what we got here. Gizmo says home births make it much easier to avoid the hokey pokeys. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Amy B says, I heard about this lawsuit this week. I was encouraged. I'm super encouraged by it. Nobody should be immune from prosecution, to include the president. Right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you commit a crime, you should be prosecuted for it. Now, I do.
Well, they say like commit a crime though, like the whole vaccine thing. They say like they didn't know it was going to cause trouble with all these people, right? It didn't cause trouble with everybody, only some people.
There are doctors that say if you insist on getting your kids vaxxed, not COVID, that you wait until they are 3 and 1 vax at a time. I think if you're going to do it, I think the 1 vax at a time is a smart deal. Hey, All American Preppers in the house. How are you, my friend? Yeah. All right. Let me see here. And then from the Village at Fox, I don't know if you guys follow them at all, but I do because they have some really interesting perspective and some interesting arguments. And so I added, if you thought COVID was bad, wait till you hear what's brewing with the bird flu. It turns out you can find the never seen before H5N2 virus for sale in a catalog. Yes, you read that right. BEI Resources, funded by the NIAID, is selling it, but that's just the beginning. The ex-CDC director, Dr. Robert Renfield, warns the recipe for making bird flu highly infectious to humans is already out there. He explains that I can create this bird flu virus literally in weeks or to months by using the gain of function research. I know exactly what amino acids I have to change because in 2012, against my recommendation, the scientists that did these experiments actually published them. All you have to do is look them up. It gets worse. The U.S. government just shelled out a staggering $176 million to Moderna for a bird flu vaccine. Nobody drops that kind of cash if you don't plan to use it.
$176 million. I would agree with that.
Yeah. The pharmaceutical industry is doing the same thing to our dogs with flea and tick medicine. I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I would go even so far to say with sunscreen, and a lot of the stuff that we spray on us. When I had one of my babies, the only time I let him out of my sight is when they took him to weigh him. When we went home the next day, they gave me his shot record book. They gave him hepatitis B.
When they weighed him.
Yeah.
That should be illegal. Shouldn't you have to sign a paper for every single vax?
Yeah, there's a lot that should be illegal.
Doesn't Mama
right?
have to sign a paper saying you hold us not harmful, not responsible?
I think you do sign a paper when you get them back that says you don't hold them responsible. All American Prepper says that's going to be the next big one. That's what I've been saying for a very long time. Well, I mean, I can tell you that the powers that be are losing control, and they're losing control fast, and they're not going to willingly give up the power.
Right.
I'm telling you, they're not. And so I can't tell you whether it's the bird flu or it's we go to war with China, Russia, and the Ukraine. But they need some kind of big event to spark, to take everybody's attention off of all the other crazy, just all the other crazy things, which, you know, we'll talk about all of them tonight, right? So, see here. Jen says, just had a conversation with my daughter today. She had very few vax until she was a bit older, and she got the jab. I went in every year with package inserts to argue why I didn't have the kids get the jab. I think schools and some of these places, though, are waking up, which I'm super excited about. I think you're seeing more and more people wake up. And, you know, it's horrible that all those people died at COVID, but I'm going to tell you the next vaccine that comes around will have even less participants. I mean, you go out and survey today 100 people walking down the mall and ask them this question: do you trust the government? How many people do you suppose would say yes, I do?
You mean as far as
almost
vaccines go? Or
no.
Trust them, period.
Period. Do you trust them?
Yeah, I think that they're going to say no.
No. And so the overwhelming majority would say they don't.
Yeah.
And because they say they don't, I think you're going to have less and less people, you know, who want to get involved in that. Yes. Why does a newborn baby need a Hep C vax? They don't.
Yeah.
Yep. If the jab was so safe, then why did you need to sign a paper absolving them of it? Right.
Right.
Yep. It's insidious and disingenuous. Yep. Even if hospitals have new moms sign forms, aren't those new moms under medications, not fully aware? Would that hold up in court? Well, the paperwork wouldn't hold up in court anyway, if you could actually get to sue them. It's just like you know, when someone comes to your farm and you make them sign a waiver.
About what?
About if you get hurt, it's not my fault.
Okay.
All that really does is it tells people that you signed a waiver and it's not their fault. It really won't hold up in court much. See, bird flu has more staying power than monkeypox. Big fences, tall trees. Hey, Grateful Hearts Ranch, how are you? Yeah, I said she was in nursing school and they mandated it. A headline on USA Today's website said a Colorado man was diagnosed with the bubonic plague. My first thought was, is that next? Yeah, I actually read that too, that they had a confirmed case in Colorado. See here, Gregory says, it doesn't seem if it is legal, just if you can get by with it nowadays. Yep, 100%. Couldn't agree more. All right. You guys following the elections that were going on in France? This is a big deal in my opinion. So for those of you who don't know what happened, so a month before the election, the right wing or the Conservative Party was in a big lead. And so a whole bunch of people kind of yoked up, got together and formed a brand new party 1 month to the election. And they won. And so now it's the super, super, super liberal party in control. Pulled a whole bunch of shenanigans, but some of these quotes I found were very, very interesting. John Levine said, one thing about France is they never miss an opportunity to surrender their country. So these are the protests that are going on in France right now. Good night, France. You've always been good at being rapidly conquered. And does anybody notice something interesting about that picture? And I took this just right off the front, page of the newspaper. There's not a single French flag. This is in Paris.
How do you know where it is?
Because that's what the article said that it was. Those are all Pakistani flags. Those green, then black and red and white, those are all Pakistani flags. That's right. Well, Zeg, you go. Yep, no French flag. We get woke and we open our doors and say it's free, just like we're doing here into our country. And it just takes over more and it takes over more and it takes over more and it takes over more. And here they are, that wing of politics won, right? And this is what they get. They'll probably never recover. Yeah, Gregory says, Viva la France, maybe. Well, Maroc says, and where does the cord blood go? And they use the skin from circumcision to make skin grafts. And of course, they don't tell us any of these things, right? So as I was mentioning, basically, I just wanted to show you the results. See that new popular front up there, B? NFP? That was the one. And as you see right here, a month ago, a new popular front did not even exist. And it's funny, they won, and then there was total chaos. And it's spreading, kind of through, it's all in France now, but, now everyone's worried. And I only bring this up because of the correlation I think it is to our election. How there's lots of things that could be done even right up to it, with all the stuff that's going on.
Is theirs is the same time ours is?
Mm-hmm. No, theirs just happened. Their election's over. Macron paired his party with the Communist Party. Yeah, and he actually jumped ahead of the national rally, as I understood it, the RN, is what they believed was going to win. They had a big old lead ahead of time. Yep. See, he's got the Macron, what he's talking about. He's got 150 seats, 142 seats, 178 seat. Exactly, Tag. Europe is one step ahead of us, and this could happen here. It's happening here now, LJC. We may not be quite that far, but yeah, it was a two-part election. I want to show you guys something. Yep, take a look. Back in Michigan, Dearborn used to be a Catholic Polish area of Detroit until the Arabs started moving in and they took over the whole city. Now they blast their music loud on the speakers during their prayer time. Dearborn is the one city in the U.S. where you'll find women wearing burqas.
Wow.
This is happening right now in Michigan. Yeah, LJC says, well, I was trying to be positive. Yep.
Yeah.
Gregory says, what do the French people really want? Well, and I think what happens, Gregory, and it's funny, we're experiencing it in my own county right here. I think people don't want to get involved. And I think people are like, there's no point. Our vote don't matter. And then this is what happens, right? I guess when it's all said and done. So they take over and they take over and take over. Think about it. In Dearborn, Michigan, they're shutting down a street to play their music during their prayer time so everybody can kneel and pray. Crazy. Ryan says, hey, everyone. I'm very late, but still going to have to catch up on the replay. Just wanted to let Tag and B know that I emailed you from the Proud Papa email a few days back. Hope you were all great. Okay, well, I'll have to go look. I don't recall seeing it, but I will go look, bud. I've been pretty busy, though, too, just in fairness. But isn't that just crazy?
That's awful.
Yeah. But it happens on the other side, right? State and local leaders react to a Patriot Front march in downtown Nashville. I don't know if you guys read this or not. Have you seen any of this yet?
No.
What I found so fascinating about it is they pulled up in U-Hauls, and these people in khaki pants and blue shirts and, masks.
Yeah, they're all wearing the same outfit.
All wearing the same outfit, jumped out. What is up with my slide? Anyway, state and local leaders are reacting to a group called the Patriot Front was seen marching through downtown Nashville Saturday afternoon. More than 100 people believed to be part of the Patriot Front marched through the streets. But what's interesting is if you look at their flags, they were all Revolutionary era flags. There was a few rebel flags and that.
The Patriot Front.
Yeah, I can't help but to notice they dress us like the FBI. FBI wears khaki pants and blue shirts, just so you know. But I know I'm.
Why are they all in masks?
Yeah, apparently they don't want someone to know who they are. If you need a blood transfusion, it is not determined by black or white or male or female. We are one red blood. The details that matter are microscopic. Yeah. Here in New Hampshire, they will be reassessing homes to bring tax values up to current sales values and are forcing us to allow them into our homes. Yeah, I'd fight that.
We're not home.
No, I would absolutely fight that. Yeah, LJC says, looks like the Fed boys are at it again. Yeah, I noticed pretty quick that if you put an yellow FBI print on the front of the shirt, they'd look like every other FBI agent. Yeah, all plants. Yeah. I used to fly through Minneapolis, St. Paul, and had to stop, had my concealed carry stolen every single time I brought anything into the airport. Very few American English speakers. Yeah, I've flown to that airport a few times too. And if you look out, like everybody taking care of the planes, they're all, dressed in Arab gear. Yeah, black and tans. I actually think they're a dark blue, the shirts, but anyway, I don't know if you guys noticed, but that was pretty interesting. So here's my, I like to do trivia. Can anybody guess what this map's for?
My goodness, look at that.
Oh, wait. What do you think, babe? Nope.
Flooding.
What is it?
Flooding.
Flooding. Okay.
Fires.
Yeah. Amy B says FEMA camps. Yep. Pretty interesting map, isn't it? Let me see here. I should be putting these up. FEMA camps. Mike and Jen says, credit card tag. I only travel to Alaska with checked firearms. Oh, credit card. They said concealed carry. Spy balloons. Oh, where they are flying the illegals. Zeg says, newest drop-off points for illegals. I'll give it another minute. Nobody is right so far. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the white flags have numbers on them: 70, 62, 11, 39, 27.
B don't see these before when I build the presentation for the night. So she gets to look for the first time too. Cyber attack, says LJC. That's a good guess.
Bird flu.
Real good. Terrorist sales. Good guess. Those blue flames are natural gas. Don't know about the rest, says Karen. The black and tans were constables recruited by the Royal Irish Constable as reinforcements during the Irish War for Independence. Recruitment began in Great Britain in January 1920. Oh, cool. Cool fact. Illegal immigrant camp, cartels, China-owned land. All right, I'll let you guys in on it.
Ooh. Hope it's not China-owned land.
Nope, but these are the food processing facilities that have been burned down since 2022.
Oh my gosh.
You go back to the map. Okay. These are all chicken processing plants.
Iowa? What's all that orange or that red?
That would be up in Iowa and Minnesota. So these are, over the last few years, we've had a lot of this chicken plant. Mm-hmm. So I tracked down an article and was showing them actually plotted on a map. This is our food supply, you guys.
This is the chicken.
Yeah, the food, the colors, G. Johns, represented chicken processing plants. There were some beef plants, but they're all food processing plants, and it was just signified different ones there. If you're interested, though, if you give me an email, I could probably email it, find that article and email it back to you. But I found this alarming. You see it in the news, one little piece at a time, right? This chicken processing plant burned down, or this whatever burned down. But I think when you see it as a collective, it really made me think.
Well, especially since they're all grouped right there. There's quite a few, grouped over there together. Mm-hmm. And so.
Yeah. Amy B says, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my gosh, says Kelly Ireland. What are the brown ones? One is really close to me, and I don't remember hearing anything. Yeah, I don't have the legend with me, bud. I'll see if I can track it down. But yeah, that is so disturbing. Coincidence? I mean, can this really be a coincidence, you guys? We've got 20 million illegal immigrants who have come across the border in the Biden administration, and this has happened. And this isn't the only thing that's happened, right?
As far as the plants being burned down?
Oh, plants being burned down. Not just that, but I mean, military bases with guns coming up missing. Just the other day, there was 1,600 submachine guns stolen from a military base.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so, yeah. Dirty bastards have been working overtime to destroy our food sources. This is why you grow food. And it's just like when we were talking about energy earlier. This is why you become energy independent, because they can take it from you. Wow, if people don't see, they will never see. Mo, they did not say what percentage the total operating plants were. And look at that. Wow, Mississippi is, hey, we'll be cool. How are you? It's full of those. Yeah, I was surprised at the Kansas one because I had heard a few in Kansas. But like if you look at this map, it tells me there was one. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in Kansas. And I think I probably heard of 2 or 3.
So every one of those is a fire?
Well, no, it's the destruction of one. So
what's the blue?
somewhere explode. I don't know. I don't have the legend on me. I should have put the legend up here, but
yeah.
Tim Riley is 100% correct. 5th generation warfare. That we are already in World War III, and this is proof we're already in World War III. The immigrants coming across the border at the rate they're coming across the border is proof we're already in it. It's just a different warfare. People keep waiting for tanks and bunkers and trenches and grenades, but it's just not the way world wars fought, you know? Does every mark on the map represent a fire or only where the flame symbols are? What do the rest of the colors mean? Yeah, Mario, I don't have the legend. I should have brought it up with me, but so it wasn't just fires though. As I was reading, it's any of them being destroyed. So, you know, some of them were shut down because of the bird flu. Some of them burned down. Some of them had explosions. But all of these represent a destruction of a food processing facility in some way or another. There was even some floods in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. It's all of them, you know, kind of stuck together.
So these are all been shut down.
All been shut down. Yep. How does this affect insurance rates? Well, it can't be good for whoever's in the food processing business, right? And just to think OSHA had inspected them. Yeah. I looked up the map and it didn't have a legend, but there's a brown spot within 50 miles of me, yet nothing on the news. Yeah, you don't see that stuff. Isn't that, Karen, isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing, too, that you can just snip clip this picture and search it and the map will come up where I got it from, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's super cool. But, Karen, I totally agree with you.
That was a reverse Google search or what?
Yeah, which anybody can do, you know. But to me, this is just super, super, super alarming. You know, take care of yourselves.
Well, I mean, we ordered turkeys from a turkey hatchery and they didn't come because of the flu. So,
yep. And Kelly says a couple of them just happen to have a plane fly into them.
Yikes.
Right. But guys, this is our food supply. And it's just absolutely crazy. Okay, what's it say? Legend at the bottom of the video, link in the article, food pantry, silos, plant. Did you hear about the Patriot missile plant and acid explosions in Pennsylvania? Well, since you want to talk about it, here's one in Arkansas. I did not hear about the one in Pennsylvania, but here's the thing. So they've attacked our food, right? They've attacked, all kinds of things. And they stole all those guns, blasted General Dynamics munition plant in East Camden. I believe this was in Arkansas. Make sure I'm right there. I believe this was in Arkansas. And then Starla Doak was talking about they had a Patriot missile plant had an explosion in Pennsylvania as well. Absolutely crazy. So you're attacking the war machine. You're attacking the food supply. And for you people out there who trust public water,
yeah.
I wouldn't. I think the one near me was a fertilizer plant that caught fire. Property tax will be the demise of those who have diligently done everything possible. 100%. One more rock. I could not agree with you more. And I think, and I've said it many times on this channel, property tax should be our number one fight. Absolutely our number one fight.
Well, yeah, because you can't own it.
Right.
Without it.
Well, I don't own this land. They own the land. I'm just keeping it until I can't afford it anymore.
You're just paying rent on it every year.
Yep. And it's crazy, for a lot of people who work hard, like, we paid our land off. We don't owe anybody anything. And yet someday they will take it. It's just a matter of time, Camden's about an hour or so north of me. I bet that new meat growing lab Gates built in South Carolina won't get destroyed. I bet it won't either, Kelly. I bet it won't either. Just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. In case you guys wanted to be mad again, there you go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's the list. Furthermore, let's get into some good news. So the United States Senate Bill 747 wants $500 million to buy out farmers. The United States Senate is currently pushing Senate Bill 747, which aims to allocate $500 million for the government to buy back farmland from U.S. farmers. Right, control the food supply. I mean, they get rid of all the plants, right? Let's just keep chunking away at it. According to Charlie Rankin, host of the agricultural-focused YouTube channel, Yanasa TV, this initiative has sparked significant controversy and concern within the farming community. Rankin explains that Senate Bill 747 is part of a broader effort to address contamination by PFASs on farms. The bill proposes to provide grants to states, territories, and Indian tribes to handle these contaminations. As Rankin points out, over 4,000 farmers across the U.S., farmers around U.S. military bases have already been notified that they might be candidates for this program. The government's aim is to mitigate the impact of these harmful chemicals on agriculture. One of the primary concerns is that the potential for the government to exert excessive control over farmland. He argues that allowing the government agencies to decide which farms stay operational and which are bought out is a dangerous precedent. There should be red flags going all the way down the street, he warns, highlighting the risk of narrative control and the potential abuse of power by government agencies. If people don't put tags on the map of all that is happening, we have no idea. Yeah, it's hard. So what do you guys think of Senate Bill 747? I think it's a great way to grab land back, a great way to control the food supply. You know, you get Bill Gates and, you know, all these other people buying up farmland, and then you get the government buying up farmland. And what's crazy about it is what they'll do is they will just say, this land's been contaminated. Mm-hmm. It's tested positive. They will give them below bottom dollar.
Yeah.
And back they have the land again. And as G. John says, for the wind, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Yep. And that is the plan. Reading between the lines, we poisoned the farmland around military bases. Right. So we did it, and now you got to take it in the shorts for it.
Yeah.
We created it, and now we're going to steal it from you. By hook or crook, they will eminent domain the shit out of that. Yes, they will. Yeah. Anybody bet it passes? All right. I was a slide too early. Let's get on to some actual good news. What do you guys think? I don't know if you guys are following all that.
I'm just waiting for the good news.
Well, the good news is that Biden says, and I quote, and now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome President Putin. He also went on to say that he was the first black woman to serve with a black president.
That Joe was?
Yeah. Joe Biden said, I am the first black woman to serve with a black president.
Oh, no.
And he introduced the president of the Ukraine as Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys watched any of that, if any of you guys seen it or not, but he actually gets up on stage and he talks about how courageous he is, what a great guy he is, all this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the president, Mr. Vladimir Putin. Well, but here we're in good hands, Silver Lining. I seen your comment down here, right? The head smack, but I seen your comment. The good news is we celebrated the 4th of July, and the vice president, and in my opinion, the new Democratic nominee for president, Kamala Harris, says, today we celebrate the 4th of July. And the reason we celebrate the 4th of July is because this is July, and the 4th of July is in July. And if it wasn't July, we couldn't be celebrating it, because you all know how much we love the 4th of July.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Mo says, so China buys farmland next to bases, sells us poison foods, and gets paid to sell it back. Great point, Mo. Great point. Regenerative farms don't use chemicals, so what will they do to take their farms? They'll spray chemtrails and poison your farm anyway, like they've been doing. Same tactic Monsanto used with their Roundup, corn, and Dacaba drift lawsuits that bankrupt many small farmers. Yep, Joe is blacked out. Joe is absolutely blacked out. Yes, and he also mentioned Vice President Trump. He did. I seen that. Yep. Cheap fakes. He stutters a lot. Yada, yada, yada. Yep. My favorite is when he referred to Kamala Harris as Vice President Trump. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know if I can read this. What reflexive gobbledygook?
Gobbledygook?
Oh yeah, everyone says, don't forget Vice President Trump. Oh yeah. G. John says, China sells goods and toys. We ship our plastics recycles back on those ships and they incinerate them. Vicious cycle. Absolutely crazy, isn't it, everybody? But here's the good news, is that because Biden gargled his speech, and it's so bad, the Dem donors have frozen over $90 million in contributions. And so the money's drying up, which is why I'm telling you he will absolutely be removed. And I also believe Harris will be the pick. So, but in the meantime, Donald Trump threatens to send Mark Zuckerberg to prison if elected, which I think is funny. See here, Sky News Australia does a fantastic job compiling the best clips of those two idiots. Yeah, I'd like to put them all together. It'd be hilarious. Yeah, now it's about saving any rare organic species and to acquire land to save these never heard of species, but they don't care about we the people. They don't care at all. They don't care absolutely in the least. Kremlin says NATO military infrastructure is creeping closer to its borders. And guys, I really think that, and I said this on the live before, I really think America wants World War III. I mean, again, they're not going to want to give up power, and there's a lot of ways they could create a big spark, but it just seems more and more like they're pushing for it. In Washington, the Associated Press said that all 32 members of NATO on Wednesday formally declared Ukraine on an irreversible path to membership in the Western Military Alliance, offering a bare but more binding assurance of protection once its war with Russia ends. You guys, if you read into that, all it said is that Ukraine will be part of NATO, right? And on the heels of that, so you guys know, NATO just placed orders with military contractors for $700 million more in Stinger missiles. Oh, yep, I did that one. Sorry. Yesterday, I laughed so hard I almost had an accident. I watched it. Oh, yeah. Kamala will be president next week during Recovery Convention. Yeah, I believe it will be Kamala also, even though I think it's a horrible candidate. But here's the thing. Joe, I think, is easy to beat, and I think Kamala is easy to beat. I think the Democratic political machine is what's hard to beat. I mean, again, don't forget, you guys, Joe Biden was the most popular president in the history of the world.
Right.
He received more votes than ever. So,
yeah.
And he was a horrible candidate. LGC says America doesn't want World War III. The puppet masters controlling Brandon want World War III. Right. Fair. Yep. Absolutely fair. I should have said it that way. Yep. That's why Putin and Zelensky are interchangeable. Yep. But it's a big puppet game, isn't it? The good news is that we all have internet so we can complain about their dastardly deeds. Yep, for now, right? And I actually be willing to bet you they keep the internet up almost, maybe even forever, as everything else crumbles around to keep people
complaining.
Just keep people calm. I don't say calm down. Keep them from revolting. This is why I've always said they'll quit paying soldier benefits before they quit paying welfare.
Mm.
They'll quit paying Social Security before they quit paying food stamps. Hope I'm wrong. You see, there was a report that came out from Josh Dunlap this week that talked about they've now proven 2.7 million Trump votes nationwide were deleted, and 221,000 votes in Pennsylvania were switched from Trump to Biden. We'll see how that plays out. I found Tucker Carlson quote super interesting. Tucker Carlson, who I like, by the way, said, import the third world and become the third world. That's what we just saw. This won't stop Trump. He will win the election if he's not killed first.
Ooh.
That's crazy. That's super mainstream.
Wow.
New jobs data report is 1.1 million foreign-born workers got new jobs over the last year, while 943,000 native-born Americans lost employment in the same time period. Right? What's that tell you? Let's see here. I got good news coming. I just keep forgetting what slide I'm on, guys. I promise. The evil ass hats want to send our sons and daughters to war, not their own. History shows war is a way to get out of financial ruin. Could not agree more. Donors gave Biden 48 hours to completely get out of office. 90 million already frozen, but if he does not get out, they will freeze all of it, even for senators and representatives. Yeah, he's done. I agree. Found the map link on the Gateway Pundit. Cool. Super cool. Foreign countries are laughing at our useless government. You bet they are. Jennifer Harper Bowen, which I just found this interesting. This is just a post that I found. She said, this is just a normal lady. I actually got in and looked at her profile, and it's just a normal lady out there. It says, my husband and I were talking last night about how a 12-pack of drinks is now $9, and how in 2020 I used to buy them 4 for $10. I decided to go back to my Walmart app and see what I was paying for a random grocery order in January of 2020. So think about the timing of this, right? This is just as COVID is coming out, right? I paid $70.20 for 30 items. I added all of them to my cart again and repurchased them today. Today, those 30 items were $165.42. That's a $95.22 price increase in 4 years' time. That's 135.6% inflation. They're not telling you that either, are they, guys?
Yeah.
Right? Inflation's stuck at 5%, 6%, 7%. Right? It's because it's all bullshit. You know, any of you guys?
135%
inflation since 2020. Yeah, what's that tell you? And then you wonder why house prices are so high.
Yeah.
That's why. Right? We got one more rock said, I believe everyone needs to prepare for what you just said. It would shake our core. It's going to shake our core. The internet provides them info on where the problem children are and free info on how to combat their opponents. There's no way they shut it down. Yeah, I'm afraid you're right, Mo. I wish you weren't, but I think you are. Starla says 81 million votes. Laugh my ass off. No way. Yep, the best way is to have no need for government. You know, I think it's crazy that they can get away with what they get away with. I mean, just like the inflation numbers, right? There's no way they're telling you these real life stories.
Yeah.
You know, there's just no way they're telling you. And, you know, we just keep sucking it up and sucking it up and sucking it up and sucking it up. Very discouraging. Oh my gosh.
To continue sucking it up. Yeah, it's all.
Okay, did you read it?
No.
Okay, I've got a whole bunch of messages that have been piling in. Maybe from the live. Sloppy Joe states that he could come down with some medical problems if they wanted him done being president even before the inauguration. Well, that would be an interesting thing, get him elected, and then, you know, before the actual change of office, something happened. Yeah. Crazy. The whole world's just crazy. It's lost its mind. Kelly says, be careful around semi-trucks. More and more drivers have no valid CDL, hauling faulty equipment, and a lot are illegals, more semi-truck hit and runs. I think you got to be careful, Kelly, anywhere you go. I'm telling you, I'm not buying concert tickets anytime soon. I'm not going into those kind of gatherings.
Did you see what happened to that semi-truck that turned over on Highway 75 right there by the hospital?
Huh.
Just like yesterday?
Huh. I didn't even hear about it.
I didn't see that it hit anything. It just was on its side at the hospital entrance.
Mm. Hey, Squatchy, what's up? What if everyone stayed where they are and stopped consuming? Yeah, well, I love this, Squatchy. The problem is, how do you do that? I can make it where I'm not consuming a lot.
Yeah.
But I can't. I'm not at a place where I can stop consuming. I don't have a salt plant, mine.
Yeah.
On my property. There's some things, I don't produce my own fuel.
We can't buy filters.
Yeah.
Or we can't make our own filters.
Right. So I think we could start consuming a lot, but I don't know that if we could ever get there. But I love the idea, and I would love to go completely galt, which is exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
I think Biden is holding out on leaving until they offer him enough money to do so. Likely. He said that in 2019. Sorry, I meant stated in previous okay, and that was about getting the money to get out. Yeah. Car insurance went up 6% this month. We just got a big raise too.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Black equals. Okay, hold on, you guys. I don't normally do this, but hold on. Let me go back here. Okay. There we go.
So black equals plant.
Black is plant. Brown is grain silos. Fuchsia got hacked. Any company that produces food or gas is green. Farm animals are purple. Food pantry is red. Grocery store is white. I'm sorry. Grocery store white, destroyed, euthanized, and banned.
Red is grocery store.
Yeah.
White is destroyed.
Banned. Right. I'm going to leave that up for a little bit so people can look. Hey, Will Be Cool. Everybody give Will Be Cool a round of applause.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for picking up the slack. Isn't that crazy?
Well, what were the blue fires?
So in Kansas, we had a brown, which would be a grain silo, right?
Well, there's 2 of those. Yeah.
Okay. What else did we have here? We had
There's
some
2.
whites, which were destroyed, euthanized,
2
and banned.
whites, 2 greens,
Greens, which were farm animals.
black, 1 black,
Uh,
which would be a plant,
Yep.
and that's way down south. And then there's 3 fires or
Yeah.
3.
Wonder if I can. I can't pin it. I was going to pin it up at the top so people could continue to look at it. Squatchy says, "How about just necessities?" Yeah, well, I think the more we get down to just necessities, the better off we are anyway. I still don't think you could get down to where. I mean, I guess if we were willing to live like we were camping, you could probably get pretty close. Love the idea. Yeah, Mario says, "What about the blue flame?"
Yeah, I don't know.
Will be cool. You got any idea what the blue flame is? Oh, here, I'll put that back up there. Sorry. Elon Musk is Trump's new best friend, donating a lot of money, says Starla. Vicky says, "Not just semi-trucks. I had the several month. If I have to drive into Houston, the drivers are crazy. Illegals are getting to access to cars with no insurance, driver's license, knowledge, and traffic laws." A Midwest Ribeye says, "Thanks. I took a screenshot. Excellent. Our house insurance up $200 each vehicle. Also $200 State Farm." You know,
we have State Farm also, and ours went up $165.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was under the house, I think.
The Skanes girl says refineries, maybe. She's talking about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Will Be Cool can do it or not, but we'd love to know what the
power plants.
What they were. I got to go find out where I was.
4. Here. We only have. How many power plants do we have in?
I think that's where I was. No, I already did that one. I did that one. Oh,
not that one. We haven't done that one.
Okay, so Will Be Cool says fire or explosion is what it says. Yeah, Starla says, "I think my new words will be well anyway." Who that sound like?
Well, anyways.
Mrs. Hacks, good night to you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, refineries. Isn't that just crazy? And until you put it all on a map together like that, you just don't see it, you know? Let me see here. Just a reminder, the people who voted against voter ID this week were the same ones that wanted to show you vaccine papers. The House passes a bill saying non-citizens can't vote. But what's crazy is they already can't vote. Why do we need a new law that says they can't vote, is my opinion. But the bill passed the House with a 221 to 198 vote. So think about that. That's 198 state representatives voted to allow illegals to vote in the election.
That's crazy.
Almost 50%. And remember, it's the same 198 that wanted you to show your vaccine papers. Don't forget that. Right? Don't forget that. Yeah, absolutely crazy. All right, where am I at here? Mo says we should design to minimize consumption. Problem is homesteaders tend to change masters from the power company to John Deere and well pump manufacturers. Perfectly said. And it's hard to resist that, but ask me how I know. You know, Hippocrates says stamps going up again, second time this year, max amount, almost $1 each.
Oh my gosh.
For a stamp. Crazy. Got notice from Farm Bureau will not be renewing homeowners insurance. Not the only one in the area. Just hate to drive down I-80 anymore. Just try to stay off that mess. Crazy. The house that my mom lives in on our property went up approximately $500 a month, mostly insurance because of the inflated home values.
Almost $500 a month.
Which is so crazy. It's not inflated home values. It's not what's doing it. I mean, they know the values are inflated, but it's inflation. It's the crashing of the dollar that's causing it. It's that, you know, like that lady that I quoted in there about how that was 165% inflation.
Right.
Since 2020. I mean, to buy the exact same groceries, the house isn't worth anymore. Right. It's that our purchasing power is worth that much less. Karen says, I haven't looked, but I'm guessing though some of those 198 were liberal idiots voted into office in my state. I'm sure there are liberal idiots that are voted in every state, right? 198 of them. Gregory says Biden wants to veto it. Of course he wants to veto it. He wants the illegals voting in the election. Yeah. And most of the blue flames were around Houston and Port Arthur. Yeah, which is where a whole bunch of the fuel comes from, right? Let me see. Yeah, for stamps. Tag, because is certain states non-citizens can vote in local elections. Well, they're not supposed to, but there's a lot of states that don't require ID. And then
which is crazy.
When there's way more to it than that. When people cross our border, now they just let them in. So they're not deporting them. But part of their packet that they get has a voter registration card in it, telling them how to register to vote. So all they have to do is fill it out and they can vote because we're not checking IDs. They couldn't vote in previous elections, but did anyway. This is redundant as the founding documents already say that. Totally agree, Jen. Totally agree. Talked to an elderly woman with a wood stove being insuring with the same company for 40 years, and now they won't insure her anymore. I know. A mess, right? Good grief. And I thought it was insane when I had to mail something in a couple weeks ago. If homes can't be insured and property values increase, property is hard to sell. Others swoop in and take the property. Well, I'll add to this one, Maroc. If your house can't be insured, they'll foreclose on it if you have a mortgage.
Yeah.
Because it is in your mortgage document that you agree to carry insurance. So if you can't get insurance on your property, the mortgage company has all the rights in the world to foreclose on you.
And then you lose it.
And then it's gone.
Lose your money that you've been paying.
Yeah, but here's the good news. They're building 15-minute cities. They can move you to an apartment in one of these cities, and you'll be 15 minutes away from Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, Walmart, Amazon will be right at your fingertips. Your house has super fast Wi-Fi, right? You can just join some reality TV, some virtual reality, and it'll be just beautiful.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun. Get on your energy board.
And take your nourishment cube, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Tamara says my house and land is paid for. Well, I think that's the goal, but I still think the property taxes is, a big issue right there. And it's going to be really, really hard to defeat. I think we have to go to bat every single day at our county commissioner meetings, at the tax meetings, and do everything we can to get rid of property taxes, to minimize property taxes, whatever we can do. It should be the number one fight for Americans today, in my opinion.
Makes sense.
Silver Lining said, and the prayer sirens will be going off regularly. We go to the 15-minute cities where Taco Bell and all that. That I forgot that the prayer sirens from the Muslim world will be going off so they can pray in the streets. Silver Lining, thank you for adding that beautiful final touch. Yeah. Pete says, thoughts on the Chevron defense case in the Supreme Court? Well, I think it's a wonderful thing. We'll see how it all plans out and how they spin it. But I mean, in the end, if it's not a specific law, then overturning the Chevron deal would make it where the county just can't assume the law, right? And say, okay, this is how we interpret it. It would actually have to be a ruling. So I love it. I hope it sticks. I hope they continue to go through it, and I hope they don't find a way to twist it and turn it and make it out to be a bad thing. Yep. Skanes Girl says, you'll be 15 minutes from a re-education camp. Yep. We will be. Well, some people will be. I won't, because I'm not leaving my property. So I haven't had a single ad tonight, even at the start, and joined 90 minutes ago. Yeah, I probably didn't turn the, what do they call that? The monetization on in the video. I'm really kind of getting to a point where I'm going to stop doing it. At the end of the day, guys, I'm going to tell you something. YouTube don't pay anything. And the hurdles you have to jump through for $100 a month, which, guys, I'm telling you, I got better things to do than that. It's not why I do any of these things, So I may just never turn the monetization back on. It's just not that important to me. The only bad part is if you don't do that, then your videos don't get shared and you don't ever grow. So you got to kind of pick and choose through it. But that's why I didn't turn the monetization on. Or maybe what I could do is I could not turn the monetization on while we're doing the live. And as soon as I turn it off, turn it on. I
didn't know you could do that.
I can do that. Yeah, Vicky says, tag, great idea. Let's put a lot of Taco Bells on the border so they can run for the border. Yeah. Tamara says property taxes, $2,000 a year. I got an ad today for EMP Shield on a gardening video. Yep. EMP Shield has got quite the marketing department, I'll tell you that. Yep. Thank God I have no mortgage. Yep. I'm proud of it too. Wait, guys, I got one more slide I want to share with you guys tonight before we get out of here. Let's wait. I've been rambling. Is there anything else on your list that we didn't get to?
No, we're fine.
You good? Because last slide I really want to share with you guys tonight. I don't know if you knew this or not, but if you get on your phone right now, there's an app called CBP1, which is a United States Custom and Border Protection app. And this actually allows you to apply for asylum in the United States on a mobile phone. You don't have to stand in lines anymore. And actually, if you get into it, you can actually, if you're seeking political asylum, you can actually arrange for transportation. You can figure out where to pick up your money. You can figure out where to meet people. You can make all the arrangements to get into our country and be let out into the streets, all by using CP1 app. And if you don't believe me, go to the Apple store, go to the Android store, and look up CBP1. I can't believe we have an app.
Is that for anybody? Can anybody use that?
I mean, I'm sure you can install it and use it, but you're going to ask a bunch of questions about your immigration status, right? So yes, I mean, I think anybody else could. Yeah, Hakestraw 54 says the ATF is really pissed over the Chevron ruling. Huh? Well, yeah, because now they can't make the law anymore. You know, the law, they can't say that a bump stock is illegal. They can't say that a high capacity magazine is illegal because it hasn't been ruled so by the courts. Hey, Life Mike and Jensen, we got sheetrock today. I hate sheetrock. I love it, but I hate it.
You got sheetrock in today, like installed,
Yep.
or just delivered?
Oh, good question. Vicky says, speaking of ads, can't wait to see Trump using the Riding with Biden's logo and a pic of him falling off a bike.
Riding with Biden.
Yeah, I seen a really funny one today about that he was trolling Biden about the Zelensky Putin thing, and it was Biden in front of like the Jeopardy board, and it almost said Zelensky out there. He's like Putin, you know.
No.
I actually, guys, for the first time, I kind of feel sorry for Biden in a little ways. I mean, because if he has dementia, he has Alzheimer's, there's something wrong with him. It's almost elder abuse, I think, in some ways. I mean, he's done a lot of bad, and it's hard for me to feel sorry for the guy, but someone's not advising him very well. Ed says, theoretically, can we create a false identity and apply for asylum? I actually like that idea. Yeah, I actually like that idea. That app is what those two kids who went down to do the documentary on the trip through the Darien Gap were being shown by immigrants. Yep. I seen it. Someone had mentioned, I'm like, no way. So I actually went and looked it up. And it is absolute there. It says it's installed. How cool is that?
Oh, nice.
EPA is also not happy about the ruling. Yeah, because they can't make the law. That's absolutely right. What a racket on an app. Yep. If we build fake Taco Bells and payday loans and Bank of America storefronts, maybe the power would leave us alone. Homestead camouflage. Yeah. Hey, I'm like 20 miles from the border. Maybe I should go down and pretend to be a foreign and cross over and get free handouts and more rights than Americans. Well, you know what I think you should do, LJC, is I think you should jump real quick across the border, fill out their thing, and see if you can get someone to buy you a greenhouse.
A greenhouse.
Well, if you can use government money to live off grid and homestead and it builds all your stuff, I don't see any problems with that. You see any problems with that?
Maybe you can get free land.
Oh, free land would be cool. Problem is, anything you get for free, someone else had to work for and didn't get paid.
That's true.
You know, it's just kind of a horrible deal. Well, guys, it's 2 hours and 3 minutes. We're going to get out of here. But before we get out of here, like we always do, you got any parting words you'd like to talk about before we go on? What's impacted you this week?
Attitude.
Attitude. You got an attitude?
You did. You had an attitude.
Oh, okay.
No, just, I mean, it can be a lot of work, and you can get in the dumps pretty easily, especially if you're not feeling good, or you're overworked, or overly tired, or hungry, or broke, or you did it wrong, and you can kick yourself around a lot. Hopefully your partner's not doing it to you.
Ooh, yeah, you're bringing up a good point there. I mean, when two people agree to go live this life, you agree to do it together. And if you're bashing on each other, shame on you. Even though there's different ideas, place
And
you want
different talents.
right, and different talent. The place you want to be is exactly the same, right? And so you got to resist.
Hopefully.
Well, but here's the thing, babe, is that the suck is real, and it's
Yeah.
real for everybody who lives this life and who goes down this road. It sucks. It's real.
It
but
can suck.
But you know what else is real? How I choose to deal with the suck.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what else is effective? How I choose to deal with the suck. And so I promise you, I'm going to do everything I can in my power that when I have a bad day, not to take it out on my wife.
Yeah. Or your people
Right.
around you.
Or the people around me. And I'm going to do everything I can that if I have a bad day, I remember the picture of the little 5-year-old boy throwing up in the toilet because he had chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And the picture of the homeless people in Seattle who, don't have any food to eat.
Yeah.
And the people of the little kids and the soldiers who are dying in the Ukraine and in Israel and, overseas all over the place who won't have a future. I'm going to remember those kinds of things and remember that I don't have any freaking problems. Right?
Yeah.
Control your attitude.
Attitude.
We love you guys. Hold the line. Don't give an inch. See everybody. Say bye.
Be out.
Be out.
Be out.
Sounds like a cat.